All right. Choppa. Where is he?
He's right there.
Oh, come down.
It's more of a question on how to proceed, Your Honor.
Yes.
We conferred on the two family violence cases. I believe we have an offer we've accepted. We need to do paperwork on it.
Okay.
There is an unindicted drug case that's been hanging around. It's been 151 days in
Oh, I'm
custody.
sure if you talk to them, it will.
Well, not at this moment.
Okay.
So I was wondering, do I ask the court if I could reset to Tuesday or Wednesday to talk? I've had the attorney's name of for the just to get it all done, because I've been doing this piecemeal and we're trying to.
Oh, well, just 1 second. Yatira Romo. With Sean. She's wearing a Steelers outfit for you to come and, stand tall for her.
It would be my client.
Yes, I do.
It would be my client, not Deshaun.
But here's the
Cowboys.
test. Who wears number 22?
Oh, come on, man.
But Sean, help her out.
It starts with an H.
Harrison.
Part of it's correct, Judge Harris. She had the sun on there.
All right. All right, so what is happening on this case? We were last here, there was an issue with discovery, text messages and report from Guadalupe.
So Judge, so I requested that from the GA or DPS apex. So far, I mean, he said he gave us everything.
Yeah, Judge, and I've been following up with the state, Mr. Escobar, and he's telling me in good faith that that's all they have. I believe him at his word. I believe there's some evidence that, can be proven perhaps in the court of law. I just wanted to inform the court, Judge, that we did get a new offer today. My client is strongly considering it. She wants to think about her options and all that it entails, and then I would possibly going to look into getting witnesses here for possible sentencing on the next court date, Judge. So we'll be asking just for a 2 or 3 week reset so we can come in. She knows everything she needs to do, what's incorporated in the plea, and if there's any witnesses for sentencing, I'd be able to call them at that time.
All right. So how much time are you asking for?
3 weeks, 3 weeks, Judge, if we could.
Right, I'll set this for October 31st.
Halloween, I like it. Yes, Your Honor.
Why were you late today?
There was an accident by my side of the community.
All right,
Yeah, I just tried to get here as fast as I could.
all right.
I admonish your judge to kind of take into account those things that they might happen because life happens. So to just leave early. So in the event that there is construction, there is an accident, she's still here on time. The rest of the court staff is here on time. I know all the time. So she's understanding of that and is gonna, make that change in the future and be here on time. Judge.
All right, so October 31st is going to be your plea deadline date. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, do you have any questions? All right, and look up Google the name of the person whose jersey you're wearing. All right, have a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Robert Sanchez.
Also present on that matter, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, today is plea deadline date.
Yes, Your Honor. With regard to this judge, he does have a couple of other cases that are one currently pending potential indictment and others in a misdemeanor court, Judge. So we're trying to work towards a global resolution to resolve these matters in an efficient way. We did tender an affidavit non-prosecution on the alleged ABI second case to the Family Violence Division, Judge. And they want to look into that and try to make contact with the witness to confirm that affidavit. And if that's confirmed, then we'll know more or less how we can proceed with the criminal trial division case, Judge. So we wanted to see if we can get a short reset, maybe like 1 to 2 weeks, so the Family Violence Division can look into contacting the witness in that alleged offense.
All right, so your final plea deadline date will be October 31st. After that, the court will not consider any further plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. Do you understand? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Pedro Graciano Solis. Court is calling 2024 CR 006896, State of Texas versus Pedro Solis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Erickson.
Defense?
Howdy, Joe Stenberg, representing Mr. Solis.
And are you Mr. Solis?
Correct.
You had a plea of no contest on August 20th, 2024. The state waived the enhancement. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court found you guilty. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at a cap of 7 years in the prison. The state is silent on your applications, and this is to run concurrent with any parole case you may have. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state? Defense?
No,
All right, state is silent. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
no, just a report.
All right, is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, he's been approved for the drug programs,
I'm sorry, what?
DDRF and MIC. He's been approved by the probation department. He's never had a drug intervention type program before. He says he's motivated and he knows he has a drug problem and he would like help.
All right, anything you wish to say?
Yes, I know.
All right, you'll raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
I'd like to first apologize for making the wrong choice in life, doing drugs. I've never had the opportunity to ever, have the help. I've always had the support of my family, but again, I've always made the wrong choice in life, and I just need help in, being able to get this drug habit of mine that I have.
Your criminal history, that's something I have to take in consideration. I take in consideration everything.
Would you like to report?
So, sorry?
Would you
Oh, I
like-
have it.
Okay.
So with your criminal history, you had from 1998, graffiti under $500. They placed you on deferred adjudication. That was revoked. If you would have told them, even in 1998, if you would have told them you had a drug problem, they probably would have given you treatment. Then in 1999, you had a theft case. You were placed on 1 year probation. If you would have told them you had a drug problem, they probably would give you treatment. Then in 2000, you had a theft case. You were given 8 months probation. If you would have told them you had a drug problem, they would have given you treatment. Then you had an attempt to hinder apprehension in 2001. You were given probation. If you would have told them you had a drug problem, you probably would have been given drug treatment, and you were revoked on that probation. Then in 2002, you had an evading detention. You were given jail time. Then in 2004, you had an assault bodily injury. You were given probation. Again, during that time, most definitely in 2004, people knew the issues of people addicted to drugs. If you'd have told them you had a drug problem, they would have given you help. And for that one, you were sentenced to 5 months in the jail. Then in 2007, February, you had a marijuana case, 60 days jail. August 2007, another possession of marijuana case, 6 months in jail. January 2009, possession of marijuana, that was dismissed. Then in 2009, you had a criminal mischief, 58 days jail. Then in 2017, you had an assault bodily injury family household, dismissed. They convicted you of something else. Then in 2018, you had a terroristic threat of family or household. That was dismissed and you were convicted of another offense. Then in 2006. And in 2006, definitely people were trying to give people treatment if they had drug issues. You had a possession case. You were placed on probation for 2 years. That was revoked. You were sentenced to 6 months in the state jail facility. And then you had a violation bond, protective order, assault, stalking in 2014. And I know definitely in 2014, if you had a drug issue, people would give you help for that. Because at that time, I was an attorney in felony drug court. And you were given 5 years probation, and that was revoked. And then 2018, you had a robbery case, and you were given 2 years in TDC. And even at the prison, if you have a drug or alcohol problem, definitely in 2018, if you tell them you have a drug or alcohol problem, they'll put you in one of their programs. And then you had a evading arrest in 2018, and it was dismissed, convicted other, and I'm making the assumption that the other was the robbery case. And then in Hayes County, 2006, you had a reckless driving. That was 30 days in the jail. I don't think you're a good candidate for probation. I always internalize everything that's being said to me, and I review everything. And then in the PSI report, they said that you minimized your guilt. And sometimes I consider when people say people are minimizing their guilt, to me, that's sort of subjective, unless you come out and say, oh, none of this is my fault, you know? All right. So the court is previously stated, court is finding you guilty. And according to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 7 years in prison. Counsel, do you wish to speak to the cap?
Is probation off the table?
Yes.
Well, yes, the minimum. I mean, a lot of the stuff you read was years and years ago. I don't remember what I did in 2006 and 2005. I was probably guilty of something,
Okay.
but I don't think those should really be held against him. But anyway, he admits he's got a drug problem, and he is right now standing before you an addict. But for that, he wouldn't be here today. So I would suggest the minimum and let him get this treatment. I think they give you treatment a year before you get out.
And my understanding is the paroled case will
Oh.
be the violation bond stalking. Sir, is that correct?
Right.
All right, that's the one that you're on parole for? Okay. All right, the court is going to find you guilty, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2014 CR 8908. And that's your parole case. And just in case it is not the correct number, I'm going to put in here, it's to run concurrent with parole as well. The court is going to sentence you to 7 years in the prison. And I'll recommend the therapeutic community. It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody, but if you have a drug or alcohol problem, perhaps they can help you. They may not accept you because of your affiliations, but they definitely won't accept you if you don't ask, okay? And when you're released from the prison, if I'm still here and you're trying to find a place, if you're truly true about wanting to improve yourself, if you're trying to find a place for rehab or mental health, come back here and I'll pick up the phone and call somebody to help you, okay? All right, thank you so much. All right, Ray Espinosa.
So he's still downstairs, Judge. Do you need the defendant to be present? It's just a status on discovery.
All right, who's the prosecutor? Deputy Laura, how long would it take for him to have come up?
There's an incident that happened, Judge, so everything got frozen for a bit, so I'm not sure.
Are you all okay with proceeding without him being brought up?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
All right, if you all will let him know that usually I have defendants before me, so they'll know that things are happening with their case. All right, Jason.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so they say they have an update on discovery. What's the update?
Yes, Judge, I believe that, this has been turned over hard drive to us last
sometime?
Something
And
in the
we
hall.
Downloaded everything onto that, that's on our Verific system, and that was turned over to today. And that was, I believe, discovered was set for today.
Yes.
Right, on that.
No,
I know that, I don't know if previously it was addressed whether we were seeking the death penalty or not. And I know that it's sort of answered no matter what, because the individual was under the age of 18.
yes,
Right.
Okay, I didn't know if that was on that.
yeah, that was on the record. Right.
But that's where we're at, Judge.
All right, and where's Mr. DeLeon?
He was here and he
Okay.
did chat with us and checked
Okay.
in with us, but he got called away.
Okay,
So,
all right, so you all have all of the discovery.
well,
As far as we know.
as far as we know,
They were
we have not,
handed it as far as they know, it's
Yeah.
in their hands.
right. We haven't been able to see if everything opens, but I'm hopeful.
All right. So here's the thing. There are 3 attorneys on this case. So your final discovery is going to be November 12th.
12th.
After that, no further discoveries. And state on November 12th, will you be prepared to make an offer?
Yes, you are.
All right, so the state is going to tender an offer on November 12th. And then after that, I'm going to set a plea deadline date.
Got it.
And obviously, your client is young. That's why the state can't seek the death penalty. So I usually give more time based upon age because they have to internalize and truly realize the consequences. All right, so Norma, on this, we're coming back on November 12th, final discovery, and the state is going to make an offer on that date. And
Thank you.
Deputy Laura, you can let them know he can go back. And if you'll send word to him that his attorneys will visit him and that we would have brought him up, but there's an issue. All right, he's young, he needs to know.
Yeah, it's true.
Espinosa's right here, Judge. Just-
Oh, counsel, your client is here. All right, Mr. Espinosa, if you'll come forward. All right,
That's
we
Robert.
thought we're not gonna be able to see you because there was an incident. So, your case is being reset for November 12th. At that time, the state will present an offer to your counsel. They'll present that to you. And then we'll come back on another date for a plea deadline date. Do you understand? That's yes or no?
Yes.
All right. No, okay.
Yeah.
So you need to say yes or no. Yes or no?
yes.
All right. So your attorneys are here and they'll speak with you. So if you just go to the box. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, and you're pleading true to violation of 4?
Yeah.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 1 year in the Bear County Jail and an $800 fine?
Yes, sir.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, sir.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Judge.
And what is that?
Your Honor, just have a request to follow probation's recommendations, which include their ISF, ISP after completing the program.
Where has he been since 2023?
Your Honor, my client tells me that he pled in November. He originally had a condition to have a GPS leg monitor for the first 90 days. His attorney Shannon Locke filed a motion to have that amended. It was removed a month late after a month of no violations.
All right, everyone, please whisper.
And then he tells me that they gave him a date to show up to get the monitor put back on, and there was some confusion because he thought the motion was granted, so he wanted to consult with his attorney and couldn't make the given appointment because of work, and made attempts with his probation officer to reschedule the appointment and was never able to get a hold of her, and then just admittedly did not report for the next 5-ish months until he was picked up on the MTR.
So he's been missing since 2023?
Since December of 23, yes. And well, he's actually been in custody, Your Honor, since this summer on the MTR before this court date. So he got picked up in June.
June 11.
Yeah, he was picked up on the MTR in June. So he's actually been in custody on the MTR since June.
All right, so why has he been in custody since June? on a motion to revoke and he hasn't been before the court.
Mr. Kuntz was appointed less than a month ago. I'm not sure if there was a previous attorney. It looks like we were appointed mid-September.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, why hasn't he been brought over for court if he's been in custody since, you say June?
Yes, June 11th.
I believe that's
June
correct.
11th.
I have the
And this
case.
is a motion to revoke. All right, let's look in the system.
The case events on Odyssey showed that he was picked up on the warrant on June 17th is what, he says 11th, but it says on the, at least on the system, it says 17th. There was a supplemental motion filed on July 1st.
Well, for me, that's still,
And then John Kuntz was appointed on September 12th.
all right. Everyone, we're on the record, so please don't approach the coordinator, don't approach the deputies, we're on the record. All right, that still is a problem for the court, that somebody has been in jail since June, and we're just having a motion to revoke hearing. Now, I do see that he had a hearing on June 17th, 2024 before a magistrate. And then this is the first setting that we've had. This is unacceptable for the court, that somebody has been in custody since June, waiting for a hearing on a motion to revoke, and here we are in October having a hearing. So somebody needs to explain to me why I should follow your agreement, because regardless, he's been missing. And I'm not even going to count the June dates. If I sentence him, of course, he'll receive credit for that time. But he's been missing since 2023 of December. So that's December, January, February, March, April, May. He's been missing for 6 months. So that needs to be addressed with the court, because I don't think he's a good candidate anymore.
Your Honor, he admittedly absconded after not being able to schedule that appointment, which I understand is not an acceptable excuse, but he admittedly absconded, and I mean, he's had consequences. He's been in custody for several months now, and he's agreeing to stay in custody. It looks like, according to probation, the program that he is agreeing to as part of our agreement with the state is local ISF from anywhere to 90 to 120 days based on his own progress. So if he is not progressing in the program, he'll stay for up to 120 days. And there's a 2 to 6 week wait for a bed. So, I mean, he's going to be in custody for several more months, and then still has several years of probation to prove to the court that he can follow rules, but he didn't. He's accepting what I believe is a significant consequence of his freedom.
All right, so this is what the court is going to do. And 2022 CR 9798. Oh, I'm sorry, probation. Is this your recommendation? All right, any objections to the court review and the court summary?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
The court summary on the very first page actually makes mention of the scheduled appointment that my client informed me about.
All right, so I see that he was made aware that he had a warrant and he needs to surrender himself to the Bexar County Jail on December 1st, 2023. It states, call probationer to inform him to surrender to the Bexar County Jail and get his GPS installed. He stated he would call his lawyer before surrendering. And then on December 11th, 2023, he was notified that there was a warrant and to surrender himself. Then as I look at another page from the court summary, it says the victim contacted this officer on September 29, 2024, and stated probationer called her from jail and made threats to harm her current partner when he's released.
And Your Honor, the state waived that allegation.
Okay. All right, I won't consider it because you're correct, it was waived. It's just in the court summary. So, Mr. Leon, I'm not considering that at all. You understand? Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is gonna do. And cause number 2022 CR 9798, the court is gonna grant the motion. The court is gonna sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, give you credit for any time served. There's an $800 fine, time and money for run concurrent. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Adriana Leon. And this will run concurrent with 2023 CR 10531W. All right, and that cause number, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on community supervision. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
In 2023 CR 10531W, the court is going to grant the motion, find you guilty, revoke, give you credit for any time served. The range of punishment in that case is anywhere from 2 to 10 years. Defense, do you wish to speak to punishment?
Yes, Your Honor, let me confirm with my count just briefly.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, I'll hear.
I just wanted to confirm before stating with the court that it's my understanding he has no prior felony criminal history, possibly no criminal history. I'm not exactly sure, so I don't want to misstate that from the court. But definitely no felony history from what I just conferred with.
All right,
my
everyone,
master.
please whisper. All right, you may continue.
Yes, and we went in with the understanding and he knew that he was going to admit that he'd violated and that it was up to the court what happened. So he was well aware of that. That's something we discussed. But I mean, you've seen that he admitted, he didn't try to contest the allegations. He admitted that he absconded. He admitted that there was no real credible good excuse, other than he was just here in San Antonio working. He has been in custody since June of this year, kind of in limbo, not knowing what was going to happen, not having an attorney and not being brought to court. So I'm sure that was, I'm assuming and speculating, admittedly, that was worrisome during that time period. And also he was agreeing to be on supervision for several, I believe 6 more years and take consequence. So in light of all that, we would, and in light of not having any prior criminal history, we would ask that the court assess the minimum, which would be 2 years.
Right. All right. And that cause number, the court is going to find you guilty. The court will revoke, give you credit for any time served. This is run concurrent with 2022 CR 9798. There's to be no contact with Adriana Leon. There's an affirmative finding of family violence and the court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison. All right, we can go off the record. Your counsel made very compelling arguments. That's why your sentence is as it is and not more. Do you understand?
I understand.
All right, when you are released, if I'm still here, if there's something you need with help for any type of issues you may have, you can come back to the court and I will pick up the phone and call someone to help you. What you need to understand is you're not allowed to have any contact with Miss Leon. Do you understand?
Yes, I
Do
understand.
you all have children together?
Yes.
All right, so if you wish to see your children, you need to do that through a third party, but you can't contact her, okay? And guess what? When we're away, and when people say relationships are over, they're over. And when they meet somebody new, you got to accept. They've moved on. So you got to move on. As my grandmother would say, even if you're crying, just cry on the inside and keep it moving. Okay? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Have a seat, sir.
Kent Sturgis.
Your Honor.
All right. Is this a motion to revoke?
This is not. This is a update for the courts.
Okay. Look on here. Oh, okay. So this is what's going on. He still has the issue in Guadalupe County. Has that been resolved?
I have an answer for that, Judge.
Yes.
It has been resolved. That was pled down to a misdemeanor. He got time served out of Guadalupe County. That case is free and clear now.
Okay.
There's nothing else holding him in Guadalupe. He was transferred here back to Bear County. Now we would like to place him on that, I believe, deferred adjudication. The one remaining issue, Your Honor, is that he is not from San Antonio, not from Texas, I believe. He's really from Missouri. We want to transfer his case back to Missouri. He's been in custody since, how long? Since almost 2022. Free and clear, no drug issues, no jail issues, anything like that. So we'd like to place him on probation. The felony drug court was recommended.
Well, I mean, let me go back. Look, he's currently on probation, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So he's on probation. He was sentenced to 7 years, suspended and probated for 8 years. So probation, what do you want to do with Mr. Sturgis?
Judge, I'm not sure that you're aware or not. I think we did receive some communication from family members on Mr. Sturgis' behalf. In particular, a sister that is willing to help any way that she can with Mr. Sturgis. The urge to get him back home with family for that support was expressed greatly. No evaluations have been completed as of yet because of the Guadalupe County hold and so forth. So I don't have any qualms on maybe doing a top evaluation to see where he is at this point. He has been in custody for quite some time now. So the drug issues shouldn't be there.
Yes. All right. So let me ask you this.
Or in, or, giving him permission to transfer.
All right. And where is he transferring to?
Where in Missouri is it? Independence, Missouri. Independence.
Oh, Independence.
Gotta love it.
All right. This is what the court will do. Alternate main conditions. The top evaluation will be in custody. That's about 2 weeks, so that when you get transferred, it's going to take a while for you to get transferred anyway. So TAP evaluation in custody. And if TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with outpatient treatment so that he can be transferred. And there'll be a transfer to Independence, Missouri, in Jackson County. And I'm going to want 120 sober meetings and 120 days. And that's to begin with his transfer. Probation, is there anything else? All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, so here's the thing. Make sure that you stay in contact with your probation officer. You're gonna actually have a probation officer assigned to you in Missouri. If something happens and you can't get in touch with them, do not do this thing where, oh, I can get in touch with anybody, so I'm just disappearing. You need to then call the probation office here and let them know, hey, I haven't been able to get in touch with my probation officer. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you do not understand about the court's instructions? So according to your probation conditions, you owe the court 300 hours of community service restitution. I'm requiring parenting classes. Once you complete those parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. You're going to be reporting in Missouri in person or either by Zoom, however they're doing it in Missouri. If they have a UA hotline, you're going to be doing their UA hotline. Vashan, in Missouri, he can either do the UA hotline or the drug patch. And if they have field visits, they're going to be doing field visits 1 month, one every month until further notice. Proof of employment, 45 days after your arrival in Missouri. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. Do you understand? And then I'm going to ask for the 120 sober meetings in 120 days. So every day you're going to be doing a sober meeting. I've discovered that when people start doing those, at first they hate it, but then they look forward to doing it because you meet people who are in the same boat as you are and who can give you advice. You understand? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
That's it.
All right, when you go, if you're living with relatives, remember, no matter how old you are, you're not an adult in that household unless you're paying rent, right? And even when you're paying rent, they have their rules and you need to follow those rules. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Reggie Rice. So on this case, where are we on discovery?
So for setting judge, the state has uploaded the body cam footage. Previously, there wasn't any uploaded. All of it is too large to download, however, so I've got to get Daniel a hard drive so he can give me the body cam. And obviously on this kind of case, the body cam is kind of crucial.
All right, so we're going to recall this back on November 14th for discovery.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, we'll bring you back on November 14th for discovery. If your attorney wants you brought back sooner, they'll let the court know and we'll put you on the docket. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes. All right, number on Reggie Rice, it's coming back on the 14th of November for discovery. Butler.
I spent about an hour getting my client's warrant recalled this morning,
Mhm.
so I didn't get much done on my client's case,
Mhm.
which is a forgery, and she has two unindicted, not set today possessions. And so I'm just wondering, can you recall it one day next week when I have more time to work on it?
Okay, why was she late for court?
Why were you late?
I was not late this morning, but currently I was.
No, you were late. Let me just tell you, there's no kind of late. If you're not here in court at 9 a.m., you're late. So were you here at 9 a.m.?
No, ma'am,
All right, so why were you late?
standing outside.
All right, you need to make sure that you are on time. Do you understand? All right. And Ms. Ferguson, are there warrants on this 4982 case? Because she's listed as a fugitive.
Your Honor, they were lifted this morning. That's the box.
Okay. And then this is not the first time you've been late. You were late on September
September
30th
30th.
as well. Well, so you have a problem with getting to court on time. This is what I'm going to tell you, and I want you to hear me clearly. If you are late for this court again, you're going to be taken into custody. You understand? And then they will make sure maybe that you're on time, depending on how the elevators are working. They'll make sure that you're on time because you'll be brought over from the jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, so let's recall this back. This is coming back on October 16th.
Is that next week, Your Honor, like I think?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do I need to sign anything or we're fine?
No, she needs to sign something.
Okay, have a seat.
Crockett. Who's the attorney for Crockett? Court is calling 2023 CR 1121, State of Texas versus Javon Crockett. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state, for the defense?
Leslie Sahanovich for Mr. Crockett.
All right, and are you Mr. Crockett?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Javon Crockett who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 1121 for the offense of assault, family choking, strangulation on June 6, 2023 for a period of 8 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of conditions 33 and 33, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 33 and 33?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find 33 true, 33 true. The court will find you guilty, revoke, take in consideration 2024 PF 1639. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Kayla, K-A-Y-L-A, Berlanda, V-E-R-L-A-N-D-E-R. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. The complainant in this case wants nothing else to do with you. She doesn't know you. You don't know her. That relationship is over. If you insist that that relationship is not over, you're going to find yourself right back here and perhaps going to a prison for longer. You understand?
Been finished, ma'am.
All right, make sure it stays that way.
Yes, ma'am.
And don't get involved with a relationship until you get an orchid and that orchid reblooms. You
Yes, ma'am.
understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
Judge, what was the sentence?
Oh, thank you so much. See? What did you all agree to for sentence? 5 years? Thank you, Bashan. 5 years TDC.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, good luck. Bashan, he was gonna go to prison and people would say, we don't know what the sentence is. This is what the court is gonna do. The court is gonna sentence you to a $1,500 fine that will be prorated. 3 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 718-910, 733-657. There's to be a TAP evaluation, felony drug court evaluation, and MIC evaluation in custody. If felony drug court accepts you, they will do so very quickly. Because today is Thursday, they probably won't get a chance to evaluate you until next week, but usually it's about Monday or Tuesday. TAP evaluation usually takes 2 weeks. However, if you accept it into felony drug court, because they have a dual diagnosis program, then that will be the final say. There's to be no contact with Chacho's or the Westwood Apartments. There's to be no contact with Stephen Ray Whitehead. There's regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. Proof of employment or SSI within 45 days of a release. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Field visits. Are y'all able to do field visits in this county where she's going to be staying? Let me just tell you, while you're on probation, I do not allow people in this court to be home healthcare providers or to work with minors. So you're not allowed to do that. Do you understand? Just while you're on probation with this court, I'm telling you, you're not allowed to do that. And the other people who are hiring people who have criminal history, especially felony criminal history, they should be running background checks. Because honestly, would you want someone with felony criminal history? It's probably best that you not do that. All right, and it's gonna be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. And I'm sorry, where does she want to transfer?
Well, she'll be living in Guadalupe County. I
All
don't
right.
know that you need to transfer the probation.
We don't need to transfer for Guadalupe County, do we?
Oh, they're looking at that. The recommendation was 2 years deferred.
Well, if
You added
she,
one.
yeah, I want 3 because I don't know what will happen in felony drug court. And that program is a total of 2.
And then the second thing is that you said all this should be done while she's in custody. Is
Yes.
there a way that I can stay in touch or have a status, another status? Because the last time we did
Sure.
this, I was told it would be the next week, and my guy did almost another month.
Well, that's probably because they may have had pending issues, but if you want to speak with Ms. Ferguson, we can have it come back on a specific day. And I would say in 3 weeks tops. All right?
Yeah, just to keep it moving.
There's a court date
Yes.
on Tuesday.
Well, that's municipal. court.
No, but I would like to put on condition that she's able to live there. Is that okay?
Yes. All right, everyone, we're going to take our recess.